Hello world, welcome to TUC. My name is Abhishek Rajan. We are going to sort map in this lecture and we will follow the approach before Java 8 and the approach after Java 8. And it's better if you would view the previous lecture, which the link of that lecture would be provided in the description. So we will have to sort the map what we have got here. All right, so first of all we need to have all the entries of this map into a list. All right, so after that we will sort the entries, and to sort that entries we will call the sort method. Okay, so if we see here in the list we have a sort method. Here it is. This is a sort method, and it accepts a comparator. All right, so here also we will have to write a comparator to sort the list. All right, so let's do that. Let's copy this entries sort. Okay, so we have entries dot sort. Now what we are going to do, we have to write a comparator. So let's write a comparator here. Okay, comparator and map dot entry, and in here we have to provide string integer. All right, sorry, comparator equals comparator new comparator and here we have to write the body of the comparators, and we will have to override public int compare method, and in here we will have to have two variables, two arguments actually. B, and let's compare a dot let's sort by get value dot compare to dot b dot get value. All right, so we have compared these two objects. A, right, return statement. Let's provide this here, this comparator. Let's take this and paste it here. So we have provided the comparator here. Now it must have been sorted, right? So where is 23rd line? This is 23rd, and here we have to provide a semicolon. It's missing. Wrong number type of argument list. This is not correct actually. It should be somewhat like this. It should be somewhat like this. Java lambda. Alright, so we have sorted based on value, and similarly we can sort based on key. Alright, so here instead of calling get value, we will have to call get key. So this is fairly a simple approach to do this. So basically we do not have to write when we use lambda, we do not have to write all this sort of long unnecessary code. Right, so what we can do, we can simply let's remove this, and there is only one method. All right, so we can remove this as well, and the argument list is required without type. Okay, so this has been taken. This also is not required. It's because there is a single instruction, one line instruction, so this has been removed. All Alright, so now this can be used. Oops, return also is not required. This return is not required here. So let me clean this. Clean this first. It has become dirty now. It's fine. So what are we doing? We basically are sorting on values. Alright. So we have sorted on values. Fine. So basically this also is not required. Okay. So what we can do, we simply can pass it here. This right side of the expression we can pass here. Alright. So this is now this has become more handy and simple. Alright. So this is fine. Now we have done a fairly good amount of changes. We have refactored a lot of things here. We have removed all the boilerplate code and unnecessary instructions. So now let's go one step ahead and let's see how can we call the methods of comparator. Okay, we have methods of comparator. We have methods of map.entry. And we can use method references as well. So let's do some hands-on on that. So first of all, let's take a look on the comparator interface. All right. So where is comparator interface? This is a comparator interface. All right. And here it is. This is the method I was talking about. So there are two different variants of this method. All right. So we are mostly interested in this form of comparing method. All right. So you can see here all the methods are default and public, but there is only one functional method in this functional interface. All right. So you can see here functional interface. Right, so comparator is a functional interface. Now, as we have seen that this is the method we have to use. So what we can do, we can write the comparing method in our in the place where we have provided this long instruction, right? All right, so let's remove this and just a second. Let's remove this and let's call the comparator comparing method. Sorry. Comparator comparing method, and in this what we have to provide, we have to somehow we have to provide something called function. All right, so what is the way we can do that? There are different ways to do that. So let's start with the basic one. So we can see here it accepts a function, right? So when it accepts a function, we can simply say map.entry and we can call the key. All right, or if we have to sort on value, we can simply say value. All right, so this is how we can call the get value method by using method reference, and that should be the argument of this comparing because it takes a function, right? So basically this is how we can leverage this comparator.comparing method. So let's try to execute and see how it works. So we can go one step back and we can change this and let's see how it sorts based on key. So see, it is sorting based on key in increasing order. So lexicographically, John is the first one, then Preet, then Rick, then Ruth, then Shane, right? So this was another approach to do this. Now there is one more method in our uh, uh, we can see here. Let's take a look. I think in map.entry there is one method comparing that. See, we can use this method as well if we have to do this sorting based on comparing by key. So if we have to sort based on key, then we can call this particular method. If we have to sort the list of entries based on values, then we can call this method. So you can try this. All right, I think you should also try these two approaches. You can open the Oracle docs and you can try this two methods based on, and you can call it on map.entry. So I think this was the approach I had to use, and I think this is very handy. So let's let me do that. Actually, it will be, let me complete my part actually. So what we can do, map dot entry dot comparing by key. We can call on method reference actually. Comparing by key, we can call on method reference. Right? Let me execute this. Oops, what happened? Okay, see, there is one mistake. All right, so I still haven't covered the Java 8 approach, stream approach. So till now we have been covering the functional style of writing comparator. So let's now do Java 8 approach. So we have entries, which is a list. So let's call stream method on that dot stream. So we have the stream. Now again in stream we have something called sorted. All right. See, this is sorted. We can call this method. Now in this sorted we have a comparator. You can see here this is a comparator in sorted. So what we can do, we can provide the comparator here inside this. We can provide the comparator. So the comparator we can provide like this also, a comma b, a dot value minus b dot. We can do this. All right, and to list. All right, so we can say sorted so what we did, we are sorting on based on values. So we can remove this and we can do something you know uh, something like comparator.comparing. All right, so comparator.comparing, and in here we can say map.entry dot sorry, double colon get value, as we are sorting on value. All right, so this can be done. So this is, yeah, that's fine. Now we can call map.entry map.entry comparing by key, or comparator comparing by key, map.entry comparing by key or comparing by value, and this comparators comparing method. This also we can do. So let's start with map.entry comparing by key. All right, so we can make some changes here in this itself. So let's delete this, and we can say map.entry dot comparing by key. We are doing with value, so let's do that. Right, so oops, what happened? Extra. Second. So extra. All right, so this was one approach when we use streams. So another approach is uh, comparing, so we can do that using here itself. We can make some changes, so we can take all these things into account. So comparing, and in here, so again we have to get the key from that to sort, or the value. All right, so how can we get the key or value? We can say that e dot get key. All right, so let's take a look here. See, it is doing based on key. All right, so we can do that we can do this using method reference as well. So how can we do that? On Map.Entry, we can do get key. Okay, so this was one of the approaches. So I have covered all the approaches for sorting the map, and we can go step by step. You please watch this lecture and code along. So, and keep the documentation ready, so that it will be useful for your practice, so that you do not have to watch this video again and again. So I think these are very fashion interview questions. So thanks for watching. Let's see in the next one. So we will solve another problem based on lambda expressions. There are many interesting problems. So thanks for watching. Bye bye.